cinematic pack presets. I'm going to go through and show you how they're used. They're kind of similar to the Essentials preset pack. You have your base, and then you can add contrast, you can make it cooler, you can make it more green, make it more magenta, add green, and then there's 2 black and white presets as well. So I'm just going to go through and show you how I use them and kind of the best ways to use it. So let's get started. For the first one, I'm going to show you this in color and black and white just because I think this is a really good image to represent them. So we'll start with the base. Then I'm just going to use my color picker, and that really gives it like a really nice coloring already. So I'm just going to brighten it a little bit, and then I think that's pretty good. If you wanted to make it black and white, you have this one that's more soft, and then you have a more high contrast one as well. So those are both awesome. All right, next one, we'll add the base, and then you can either make it cooler or you can also add contrast. I kind of like this with a little bit more contrast, and we'll bring it down a little bit and take down the warmth a little tiny bit. All right, the next one, we will add the base, and I want it a little bit more, let's see, a little bit more magenta, so I'm gonna add that, and then I'm gonna brighten it up and make it a little warmer. That gives it kind of like that cinematic look, so maybe add a little bit more magenta. There we go. And then we'll add the base again. I'm gonna add the magenta again just because it's kind of a pretty green photo. Add some warmth, a little bit more magenta. If you want it to be more green, you can add that, or the contrast if you want like her dress to pop more as well. On to the next, we'll add the base, bring up the exposure a little bit, and then if you want to add grain, that just gives it kind of a more filmy look. You can see there. Here it is with the black and white, more contrast and less. All right, let's go to the next one. We'll add the base. I kind of like this more green, so I'm just going to take down the temperature a little bit and bring it up a little bit as well. Add a little blacks, and there you go. The next one, we'll add the base, bring up the exposure a little bit, and I'm going to add contrast for this one. All right, we'll add the base. This one kind of does well already with the base, so we'll just leave it like that. All right, let's add the base again. I'm going to add more warmth, and you can add magenta here if you want, or make it greener. It's really your preference. You can also make it cooler if you like, but I like this one right about there. All right, let's add the base. And then I'm gonna add magenta just because I know that there was some in the sky here, so we'll do that, and then add some warmth. That gives it a nice look. All right, this one, we'll add the base. I don't know why it was like that. So I'll add the base, and then I'm gonna do a little more contrast in this one, so that one looks good. For this one, we'll add the base first. You can make this cool. It's kind of super warm, and I'm gonna add a little bit of magenta manually. And I'm gonna add some contrast too, because this was already shot through a veil, so yeah, we'll add a little bit of contrast back in. base. That up. Add a little bit of magenta. That looks pretty good. Alright, we'll add the base again. I'm going to add a little magenta, and then we'll add some warmth. That looks pretty good. Let's add the base, up the exposure, and I'm just going to add some warmth to this one. You can also add contrast. I kind of like this with some contrast, so I'm going to keep it like that. Alright, we'll do the base. And take away a little bit of warmth. You can also do that with the cool. The cool is actually nice here too because it really brings out the blues in the water. So let's just try that. I'll add a little bit of magenta and a little bit of warmth back in. That looks nice. Alright, we'll add that. And make it a little brighter. Add some warmth. And I'm going to add some contrast back in too. So there you go.